You ever notice how easy it is to start something new and how hard it is to keep it going? You get that rush of motivation. Maybe it's a new gym membership, a new planner, a new, this time I'm really going to do it energy. And for a while, it feels amazing. You're on top of your game, hitting your workouts, eating better, feeling good. And then life happens. Like you get busy, you're tired, you miss one day, then you miss two. And then before you know it, you're back at square one, telling yourself you'll start fresh on Monday. That's the part that stings the most, isn't it? Because deep down, you want this, you care, and you're trying. But no matter how many times you start, something keeps pulling you back. And if that sounds familiar, I want you to know it's not because you're lazy or undisciplined. You're not broken. You've just been approaching consistency the wrong way. I've been there myself, and I've helped dozens of women through the same cycle. So today I want to walk you through 4 of the biggest mistakes that keep women falling off of their fitness journey, and more importantly, how to fix them for good. And at the end, I'll share one bonus mistake that nobody talks about, but it's a game changer once you catch it. So mistake number 1 is relying on motivation instead of building structure. Here's the truth. Motivation is emotional. It's like a spark. It lights things up fast, but it burns out just as quickly. When I first started training, I relied on that spark for everything. I'd wake up and ask myself, do I feel like I'm going to go to the gym today? And if the answer was yes, I'd go. But if I was tired, stressed, sore, or even just in a low mood, I'd talk myself out of it. And that's how most people live their fitness journey, in this emotional tug of war between I want to and I don't feel like it. But discipline isn't about pushing harder, it's about making showing up easier. It's about removing the need to choose. And one of the biggest mindset shifts I had that I teach every client is that you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. So if your system depends on you feeling like it, it's already set up to fail. Here's how you fix it. Every Sunday, take 10 minutes to look at your week and schedule your workouts. Literally block them into your calendar like it's an appointment. Write Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. lower body, or Thursday, 7 a.m. upper body, Saturday, core and conditioning, whatever it is. And then when it's scheduled, it's not optional. You wouldn't skip a work meeting because you didn't feel like it. Why do you keep canceling on yourself? Second is to make the first 5 minutes automatic. Decide your start ritual. The same short sequence you do every time before a workout. Maybe that's putting your hair up, sipping your pre-workout, walking for 3 minutes on the treadmill, tying your shoelaces, whatever it is, the routine triggers the mindset shift from I have to I'm doing it. And the third is to build in a backup plan. If you miss your workout slot, don't throw the whole week away. Create a fallback. If I skip my morning gym session, then I'll do a 20-minute at-home workout after dinner. No guilt, no starting over on Monday, just consistent motion. Because consistency doesn't come from motivation, it comes from structure. And once you start structuring your week like somebody who already follows through, you'll stop relying on willpower altogether. Mistake number 2 is the all or nothing thinking that leads to burnout. Let's be honest, we've all been here. You start strong, you're all in, you're meal prepping, hitting your workouts, drinking a gallon of water, tracking everything, and for a while you feel like you're unstoppable until something throws you off. Maybe you miss a day, maybe you eat something off your plan, and suddenly you just start to spiral. You start saying, I already messed up, I'll just restart next week. And just like that, all your progress gets wiped away by one small detour. This was me for years. If I couldn't do everything perfectly, I just didn't want to do it at all. And what I didn't realize was that the more perfect I tried to be, the more inconsistent I became, because perfection is a lie. Perfection is fragile. It only exists when everything goes right, and life rarely does. What actually builds consistency is flexibility. One of the best things that you can do for yourself is create what I call a baseline, better, and best version of your routine. So your baseline is your minimum. Things that you can do even on the hardest days. Maybe that's like a 20-minute walk outside, a quick dumbbell circuit, or stretching before bed. Your better is planned workout, your normal session. And then your best is when you have extra time and energy. Maybe you add a finisher or a longer cool down. And here's why this works, because you always have options. So instead of falling off completely, you adjust the volume, but you still show up. I tell my clients this all the time. You can't fail if you don't stop showing up. So next time you're busy or tired or just not in the mood, just ask yourself, what's my baseline today? And do that. because a 20-minute imperfect workout is always better than a perfect plan that just never happens. Mistake number 3 is the comparison and external validation loop. This one's heavy, and it's one of the most common reasons women lose their spark. You're doing your thing, you're showing up, you're feeling proud, and then you open social media. And within seconds, you're flooded with that girl content, like the perfect body, 5 a.m. routines, flawless diets, endless energy. How much of that is actually true? And suddenly, all your progress you're proud of doesn't feel like enough. And we've all been there. When I first started as a personal trainer, I was constantly comparing myself to other trainers. I'd scroll and think, she's leaner, she's lifting more, she looks more confident. Instead of inspiring me, it made me feel small. But here's the truth. Comparison doesn't motivate you. It disconnects you from yourself. There's a fine line between being inspired by someone and envying them. And having jealousy, comparison, and envy doesn't help you in any type of way. It just makes you feel less than and keeps you in lack mindset. The moment your progress becomes about keeping up with someone else's timeline, you stop listening to your own body and your own goals, and you start chasing validation instead of alignment. And that's why so many women burn out, because they're working from insecurity and not from intention. So here's how to fix this. Start tracking you-only metrics. Track things that can't be compared, like how consistent you were with your week, how your strength progressed. Maybe you went from 15 pounds to a 25-pound dumbbell, how your energy and your mood felt after your workout. These are your markers for success. And just as importantly, curate your environment. Unfollow or mute anyone who triggers shame or comparison. Fill your feed with creators who make you feel grounded, not pressured. You'll be shocked by how much lighter you feel. Sometimes we think following people that have the perfect routine and the perfect life and everything is the way to go, but sometimes that's what's keeping you stuck. Because like I said, inspiration and envy have a thin line to tread between them. And you need to follow people who make you feel more confident about yourself, who make you feel excited to show up, who make you feel like it's something enjoyable and something that you can do, versus when you follow somebody who displays the curation of a perfect routine. First of all, how much of that is true? But second, if it's not putting you in a positive space, making it easier for you to feel good about showing up, and if it's putting you in a place where you feel like you're never good enough and nothing that you ever do compares to this person, then it's not the person to follow. One of my clients, Sarah, told me that she started replacing her Fitspo accounts with accounts about strength, wellness, and body neutrality. And she said it changed her whole energy because she stopped chasing an image and she started chasing how she wanted to feel. And that's what I mean when I say, don't try to look like her, live like her. Consistent, confident, grounded. Mistake number 4 is having a shallow why, rooted in aesthetics. This one is probably the most important, honestly. If your why for working out is only about how you look, your motivation will always be fragile. Because the second your body changes, your confidence does too. I'll be honest, this was me when I started. I told myself I was training for health, but really I wanted to look a certain way. When that was my focus, everything I did came from fear. Fear of gaining weight, fear of not being enough, fear of losing control. And for a while, it worked. I got strong, I saw results, but underneath it, I was miserable. I was obsessed with progress photos, calories, mirrors, and I completely lost the joy of movement. Until one day I realized I was training for validation and not for liberation. That realization just changed everything, because when I stopped chasing aesthetics and I started chasing strength, my relationship with fitness healed. Because strength gives back what vanity takes away. Here's how to start shifting your why. Grab a journal and write your goal. Like, I want to work out 4 times a week or 3. Now ask yourself why 5 times in a row. And each time you dig deeper into your reasoning. I want to feel strong. Why? So I can feel confident. Why? So I can show up fully in my life. Why? So I can serve with energy and with ease. You just keep asking until you hit a reason that has nothing to do with looks. And that's your real why. Write that somewhere visible. Keep it on your lock screen, because when your reason is strong enough, the excuses lose their power. And the bonus mistake, number 5, is not tracking your progress. This one might sound simple, but it's one of the sneakiest consistency killers. If you're not tracking your progress, your brain will convince you it's not working, even when it is. Because humans are wired to forget wins, fixate on what's missing. You might be lifting heavier, sleeping better, feeling calmer, but without proof, you'll just overlook it. Tracking doesn't have to mean obsessing. It's the opposite. It just means staying connected with your growth. In Strong Her, I built this right into the system. Progress tracking that's simple, empowering, and not tied to your body image. You track your lifts, your consistency, and your energy. And when you look back, you can see how far you've come, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because the more you acknowledge your progress, the more your brain wants to keep going. So if you've been stuck in that start-stop cycle, here's your reminder. You don't need to be perfect. You just need a plan that fits your life. You don't need motivation. You need structure. You don't need to look like her. You need to listen to yourself. And you don't need another challenge. You need a system that makes consistency automatic. And that's exactly why I created Strong Her, my 8-week strength training guide for busy women who want structure without restriction, strength without burnout, and confidence without comparison. It's built around simplicity and integrity, 3 to 4 workouts a week, all under an hour, using dumbbells or body weight with clear progress tracking and intentional programming. You can even do it at home. And if you're someone who wants to go deeper, to actually rewire your mindset, break self-sabotage, and rebuild your relationship with discipline, that's what I teach inside Rewired. Because real consistency doesn't come from forcing yourself to do more. It comes from aligning who you are with what you do. And if this resonates with you, just hit subscribe. I post weekly videos. If you're ready to stop falling off and finally start following through, just click the link below to get the Strong Her guide. And remember, your fitness journey isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up over and over, not to prove your worth, but to honor it. And that's what makes you stronger. So I'm just sending you peace, love, and light. And always remember to breathe deeply and live mindfully. Love you, love you.